Hello everyone, Will the Outlaw here, and today we're going to be taking a look at McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman Forever Nightmare Batwave. I have always been a Batman fan, and in 1995, one of my favorite directors, Joel Schumacher, replaced Tim Burton and took the reins of the highly lucrative and popular Batman franchise. While Burton's Batman vision was dark and somewhat fantastical, Schumacher was encouraged to go lighter and more commercial. Schumacher did that, while still maintaining a somewhat dark edge. This particular wave includes four main characters from the film: Val Kilmer as Batman, Chris O'Donnell as Robin, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, and Jim Carrey as the Riddler. The Build-A-Figure in this wave is what's called a Nightmare Bat. This figure is based on a now infamous deleted scene where Bruce Wayne confronts his fears in a dream sequence. Most consider this the closest we'll ever get to seeing Man-Bat on the big screen. Taking a look at the figures, and while they all look great, they are pretty much typical McFarlane fare. They all have the same articulation and all joints are tight and have great movement. Gosh, looking at all these guys just takes me back to the summer in '95 where this movie was just everywhere. Okay, first off, let's look at Batman. Here he is wearing his sonar suit that he sports at the climax of the film. One thing is immediately apparent though: the coloring on his cowl, gloves, and boots don't match the rest of the suit. I honestly don't understand this, as the previous release with the 5-pack doesn't have this problem. I do love that this Batman has a cloth cape. As good as the molded capes look, the cloth ones just look a little better to me. His accessories are pretty plentiful. He comes with extra hands, a grapple gun, a standard Forever style Batarang, and his sonar Batarang. His Build-A-Figure piece is the Bat Head. His head sculpt is a very nice representation of Kilmer. I especially love the little details on the cowl. While Kilmer is not my favorite Batman, this sonar suit is probably one of my top 3 movie suits, behind Keaton and Affleck. Next, we are looking at Chris O'Donnell's Robin. This is the first live-action interpretation of Robin since Burt Ward had the role in the '66 series and film. So while Chris O'Donnell was way too old to play the Boy Wonder, he was around 24 at the time of filming, I still like his version of Robin. The only other accessories he comes with are some extra hands. These hands are great for his sidekick action poses. Another thing that's great for action poses is the fact that he has a wired cape. It's not only wired, but it's pretty thick and just looks amazing. With as good as this guy looks, I think this is one of my favorite McFarlane figures. His head sculpt is perfectly detailed, even though I've always thought his mask was a little too big. Either way, it's screen accurate, which is exactly what we're going for here. His build-a-piece is one of the Batwings. Two-Face is probably the best looking in this wave due to the amount of detail and colors in his design. His Harvey side looks good with some subtle surface detail on his suit. His big bad Harv side is a totally different story. This thing goes so hard with the tiger and leopard print style, and I flippin' love every part of all of this. Harvey's head sculpt is so detailed and perfectly captures his on-screen look, right down to the variations in his hair and veins on his face. The smirk he has is also a nice touch, and captures the spirit that was in Tommy Lee Jones' performance. He comes with some extra hands, nothing special, but one thing he has is this hand with a coin flip action look. I'm very surprised with how good this looks, and the effect truly works. He also comes with the other Batwing. Finally, we have the Riddler. Oh my, Jim Carrey's Riddler. What can I say about this one? For a performance that was seen as most reminiscent of the '66 series, this version was one that was probably the scariest to me, with subtle hints of murderous insanity hidden behind a manic exterior. That is until Paul Dano did his thing and totally changed what the Riddler can be. For the better, I think. This figure has his signature question mark spandex onesie. The question mark deco pattern is done very nicely throughout the figure. The only thing about this is it's understandably missing from the joints. That's a good choice though, since it may rub off, like it's kind of done here. That being said, it does leave some very noticeable blank spots. His head sculpt is by far the best of the wave. I love that they gave him Jim Carrey's smirk, and the layered mask looks like a totally separate piece. I never liked that he had red hair, but like I said before, it's screen accurate, so we gotta let that slide on this figure. The Riddler comes with some extra hands and his bat-shaped Riddler bombs. He also comes with his signature question mark cane. It's nicely colored and looks great in his hands, but it's made of way too soft plastic and I feel like it's gonna melt in the lights. I also would have liked for the top part to open up like it did in the movie, but maybe that will be done in an inevitable future release of the Riddler wearing the suit that, keeps him safe when he's jogging at night. Riddler also includes the final piece of the Build-A-Figure, the center torso of the Nightmare Bat. Okay, so with all the parts now out, let's combine this thing. Everything is attached with ball joints and pegs, so they're very easy to put together. The final product is an impressive piece that is probably the best looking Build-A-Figure we have gotten in a very long time. The details are perfect, with the wings having an authentic veiny leather look. The torso has some great fur detail, with the feet and claws continuing the tan veiny look. The head sculpt is the best part though. The face looks genuinely terrifying with his large teeth and deep red eyes that almost give off a glowing otherworldly look. The figure is also articulated with wings that can flap and move around. The head can also move, with the mouth being able to open and close. The only flaw, and I mean the only flaw this figure has, is the head absolutely cannot move down far enough to recreate the infamous deleted scene. I'm seriously bummed out about that, but it's not a deal breaker as everything else on this guy is just perfection. This movie was my life in '95. A new Batman movie with Jim freaking Carrey and Robin? I was in cinematic heaven. Does this line recreate the excitement that I had way back then? No, not even close. But that doesn't change the fact that this wave is everything we could want in Batman Forever representation. The only thing that can complete that is, of course, the Batmobile. That will come later though. All in all, this is a great wave in which all the figures have positives that far outweighs the negatives, and you get a Bat piece that is a perfect accentuation for any live action Batman collection. Bottom line, if you get only one movie-based wave, this is the one to get. Not only do you get the most colorful combination of figures, but the Build-A-Figure is an unconventional yet very welcome icing on the cake. Well, that was my look at DC Multiverse Batman Forever Build-A-Figure wave. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.
Laters!
Check out my Patreon for early access to my videos and shoutouts on future videos. Join up and let's talk toys.